So here is a quick tutorial on the prescriptive continuous footing calculator. One important thing to remember is down here at the bottom is the tabs, and it will tell you, not in detail, down here it probably didn't give you enough information, but it does tell you basically what they're asking for. So that is like at number 4, it says name of the person inputting the calculations and the address proposed project. So I filled that out, and here they ask for what type of a job it is. These are filled out. This is the first important one right here, where basically you're naming the wall that you're calculating the footing. First one I'm going to do is the back wall. And the first question they have for you is, what's the height of the exterior walls on that wall line? This is the house, and this is the back wall. So there's 9-foot floor and 9-foot floor. Well, they're actually 9'1" and 9'1". So I always err on the side of the higher, and you can't put in inches, and so that's why I put the 19-foot. And what this is saying is in 1 foot of length take that one section, that footing, and when it has 19 feet of wall, that 19 feet of wall equals 285 pounds. Okay, then you skip these because in residential you don't normally have steel walls. You don't have interior walls on an exterior wall. So anyway, we go down to, it's an 8-inch concrete wall. What they're wanting is the height of the 8-inch concrete wall. This is just a frost wall, but that's the top of the foundation wall. And it's going to be somewhere between 2 and 3 feet, so I just plug in the 3 feet height, which is here. Now we go down to the roof loads. And when they say tributary width, what they're meaning is how much is that wall supporting of the roof. So that's the footing. Over here is the overall length of the house, and we're using trusses that span from this wall to this wall. That means half of this, I bump it up to 34. 17 feet of that roof is supported by this wall, and 17 feet is supported by that wall. So that's the 17. Then we go to the floor live load, floor 1, first story. So there's just one story on this house. This footing down here is only supporting 1 story, so we just fill in that one line. And here, this is going to be a bearing wall. That's a bearing footing. So it's carrying half of the floor load between here and here. So the tributary would be that number, which is 17, cut in half. But 8'6" doesn't go in, so I bump it up to 9 feet, which is right here, 9 feet. Then they ask for the deck load. The deck joists are going from this beam here. These are posts to support the beam, and this wall. So this wall is supporting half of that load, and this beam is supporting the other half. So I go to the biggest point right here, and you figure that at 12 feet, and so 6 of it is being supported by this wall, and 6 of it is being supported by that beam out there. So that's the 6 foot. And they're adding up how much it weighs per lineal foot, how much weight is coming down by that deck. That's 6 feet, it says 300 pounds. And so they add all these up, and this is the weight right here. Well, let's see. Yeah, okay, this is the walls, and these are the floors and roof. They add it up, and that's how much weight is on that footing per foot. And they are saying that they want a 17-inch by 6-inch depth. The trouble with this calculator, it doesn't, the standard around here, and what I wrote on the footings in the original plan, and that would fly everywhere else but Spokane County, and that's an 8 by 16, which is actually a beefier footing than 17 by 6. And that's one of the problems with this calculator. But since that's the way they want to do it, what you do then is save this in a file, and then later you will print that out. but you hit save as in between, because you're basically going to use the same thing, because you don't want to have to rewrite this out each time. You have to change this and you have to back out everything, you know. But that's just a matter of you click on it and press 0, enter, and you're done. And just you click on it, and let's say I want to change that to 8, you know. So anyway, that's how you do the exterior walls. Now I'll change this and go to center bearing. So that's this wall right here. So it's carrying half of this floor. So that's just 9 feet right here. No deck, no roof, but it does have interior lightweight. It has one that's sitting right on it, and there's a chance that another wall could run across it. So I do the same thing and just put in the 19 feet to be safe. There's not much of a load on this thing. As you can see, it's 12 by 6 by 12, which is kind of the minimum. But that is all you got to do for that one. So you just go up and save as, and because you got to turn all these in, and you're supposed to go label the plan, or at least hand all of these files to your foundation guy when he's putting the footings. So you want to have individuals that you can print out and send PDF to the building department. Okay, next I'll show you the front wall, and it's different because this is a full high wall, meaning that it's got more of a concrete wall on it. For the deck, it's got, we'll just say that's 10 feet, so that means it's got 5 feet of deck. Other than that, everything else is the same. So this one has 9 feet of the concrete wall, and then it's got that same 17 feet of tributary, and it's got the same 9 feet of floor load, and it's got the 5 feet of the deck load. And this one, they're saying, is 7 by 21. That's the footing for that. So again, now I printed out, well first I did mark it as that. And then I just save as with the other ones. Okay, now I'll show you the deck pads. So it doesn't have any wall on it or any of this stuff. None of it applies. So, okay, I do plug in though, you know, a footing typically, a deck pad has a footing down below, and then it has a pier coming up. Then the post sits on that pier. So I tag in like 3 feet for that. And then, okay, to figure out the tributary for a post, and I only do it on one post and just make sure it's the one that has the most weight on it, and then I just apply that to all of them. But again, this post here is carrying half of that between here, and then it's for floor, and then for it's carrying half of that. So you take, so half of this, rounding it up, is 5 feet, and then half of this is 12 feet. So you put in 5 times 6, and that's 30. It's kind of that's a square footage thing. And then the same thing on that with, well no, the roof's a little different. See, the roof doesn't have a center bearing. That means it's half of the roof thing here is to here. This one, the other side is carrying the other one. So it's greater than, it's that, you would plug in the full 10 feet times the 6 this way. So they're coming up with a total weight of 4530. And here down here, you're labeling the pads. And so I just put deck pads, and they're wanting a, this is the spread footer, that's the pad. They want it 15 inches deep and 36 inches wide, so 36 by 36. So, and that's a big pad. So probably I'd take that back. I would probably figure out the smaller pads so you don't have to have all these pads. So I would label this as, so I would label this deck pad A and then print it out, and then on the plan write in deck pad A, and then you've got the sheet for that. And the footing guy will look at it and he'll make that footing that depth and that size, and you'd go through and do all of them that way. Now these walls here, front and back, they're a little different because this is a bonus room up here, so there's trusses up in here with the floor on them. So I label these garage footings, and they do have the 8 foot of wall, but down here at the concrete, it's a shallow foundation, so that's 3. The roof load would be, you do 14 foot, so you have the 9 foot exterior wall that's framed, light framing they call it. No wait, I did that wrong. So there's the garage wall, exterior wall. There's the garage foundation. There's half of the roof load, and there is the half of the floor load, because there's also a floor load in those trusses. And they're telling you that these would be 14 by 6. So again, you just save as and turn it in. Okay, now lastly, every girder truss is carrying a big load. A girder truss means that it's carrying other trusses, or floor system or something. A carrier truss is another name for it. But you know, with those laying on the wall, they're going to need pads. So this house has going to need one here, 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 and then you also have a girder truss here. So here and here, and the only way you can know what that is. So once you got your truss bid done from the plan, you're going to get back from the truss company a layout and engineering, and they label each truss, and they're labeling this girder and this girder as A4s. So you go to the engineering and find the A4 truss. That's what this is. This being the front, this being the back. So you have to find the bearing locations, and then you have to find the max vert reactions. So anyway, what they're telling you is that 0 feet 0 inches, which is the start, the weight right there is 9,072 pounds. And then at the back of the house, the back of the truss, at 0.33 feet 4 inches, it's 12,486 pounds. So here, I'm going to do the front one. I'm going to plug in that 9,072 right here. That's the pounds. Hit enter, and boom, it tells you that that pad needs to be 30 inches by 12. So that's girder pad A, and I'll save this as girder pad A. And you got to look at your dimensions: 14 foot 11 and a half, 15 foot 9. So on the foundation, you got to mark out girder pad A, girder pad A. The foundation guy is going to look at the worksheet and going to do the size that's called out on the worksheet, or you could write it in the size. So then to catch the other girder pad for the other side, or for, wait a second, this is not girder pad A. This comes over here, because both that truss engineering you saw these are both that A4. So this is the front point of the A4 that was at the 9,072, and that back here, this is the 12,486. So I'll plug that in to get girder pad B. So I change the number, go up and save as, do your save as thing, and and now you got it. So you then just go onto your plan, then mark it girder pad B. So that's basically it. It's a fairly time consuming thing. And I'm not saying that I didn't make any mistakes here. I only know that what I just did here has always worked, and I've probably done this probably 10 times, and every time I've never had a problem with it doing just what I did here and getting it to pass. So thank you. Bye now.